Hey, what's happening, everybody? So I'm here with Brandon and his, what is this van?
95 Chevy G20 Explorer.
Nice, 95, whatever he just said. High top. He's got a really cool setup, and we just want to get to know him a little bit and check out his van, see what it's about.
Yeah.
So can we head inside where it's a little less windy?
Let's do it.
We've got some real wicked wind out here on Quartzsite today. I keep crouching down because I'm not used to a high top, but I can actually like stand up most of the way in here. So what can you tell us about this van?
Oh wow. Okay, so it's a 95 Chevy G20 Explorer V8 350. I love it. I think the main reason I got this van was because of all the windows. Also the skylights, which I really dig. There's a lot of hidden nooks and crannies in here, all kinds of small compartments. I saw it and I just fell in love with it. But yeah, it's a beast, and that's what its name is.
So what, does this open?
It does, yeah.
How?
I just turn on the engine and open it.
Oh, it's electric?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
I mean, it might be able to open even now. No, it needs power.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you've got this huge cabinet thing over here. What? Is this open?
So it does open. This is storage. So I got like winter clothes or summer clothes depending on the season. I got my 2 batteries in here as well. 2 6-volt batteries, 224 amp hours each.
Wow.
I got, but yes, it's mostly just storage, and it serves as my desk. Someone could sleep on it. I don't, but it could definitely be a bed as well, I guess.
Where do you sleep?
So in the evening, when I'm not lazy, I get out a cot and I unfold it and set it up here, and then in the morning I put it back in.
And what about when you are lazy? You just sleep on the floor?
Yeah, I roll out some, you know, my little mattresses, foam and stuff like that, and just, yeah, chill here.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a pretty padded floor. What do you have under here? Is this just carpet on carpet, or?
No, it's some more of this Reflectix type stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think I've ever seen a van without a permanent bed in it.
Right?
It
No.
really opens it up because it feels really big in here.
That was the main thing that I wanted. You know, I've seen a lot of van builds, and having like a bed take up the entire space was something that I just didn't really want to do. So I'm happy with taking the time, you know, every day just to like break it out, put it back up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the openness is really what I enjoy. So
Yeah, you can really hang out in here for as long as you want. It doesn't feel cramped at all.
yeah, and all the windows open, which is great.
So I see you've got an inverter here and some other electrical things. What's your electrical setup?
So this is just a 750 inverter. This is my solar power controller here. I got 12 volt and some USB. These are brain fart here.
Fuses?
Yeah, fuses, thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I got. The solar goes from the top of the van through the back door, so I didn't have to drill or anything like that.
No drilling holes, no
drilling
leaks.
holes.
I just had a leak through my hole that I drilled in my ceiling.
Really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no leaks, which is nice. I was really concerned about having to drill holes. I didn't really want to do that, but didn't have to. So yeah.
Very cool.
Food storage.
Yeah, you have a big little cabinet thing you built here. It's very open.
Yeah, totally. So lots of food storage. I got food storage in here as well. All kinds of crazy storage. It's kind of a mess in there, but propane and food. And this opens on both sides. But also, this is my sink.
Whoa!
And it's a, you know, yeah.
There's a big sink in there.
I know, right?
Crazy.
I wanted to have a big sink. I was actually thinking about having like building an actual shower of some kind in here, and having a metal sink lower to the ground that I could actually stand in. But
So clever.
I couldn't find one, so this works. And this is, you know, my hand pump water system.
Got a weed sprayer down there.
Yeah, totally. So, you know, everything I need, it works fine.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love it. It's simple, and honestly, like I've thought about getting like an electric pump, but I think I actually conserve more water using that than I would something electric. But yeah, I mean, it's my little home on wheels. I love it.
Very cool. And you've got like, is this more storage here too, or is that just?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. So there's little nooks and crannies, like I said, everywhere. This thing came with like a Nintendo. It came with all kinds of stuff, and I just ripped it all out mostly.
You ripped out the Nintendo?
Yeah, it was old. It didn't really work well. Things like this. Lots of storage. I got my first aid kit over here, which mostly just consists of tinctures and things like that. So, yeah, I'm a big herb person and natural medicines. Yeah, and I've just tried to make it homey, decorate it, and
speakers up here. Oh, I forgot to turn on my B cam. And you've got more storage up here.
Yeah. This is just
cool.
It's food. I got lots of food storage in here. It's packed in food.
Nice.
Clothes. Yeah. These are crafts. Make dream catchers and leather bags and different things like that. So.
Do you sell these?
I do. Yeah. If people are interested in buying them, yeah, definitely.
Where can they find them?
They can just get a hold of me on Psychic Sojourns on Facebook or Instagram or.
Psychic Sojourns is his YouTube channel, by the way. Make sure you check him out there.
Yeah.
Cool. So what led you to living in a van and doing this?
Well, I saw that the world was going to end, and I'm just kidding. No. No. I kind of felt called in a couple different ways. So I think that I kind of felt a spiritual calling to go and explore. So mostly what I've been doing is I've been traveling throughout the United States, exploring ancient sites. So all throughout the East Coast, there are tons of ancient sites, really old history that not many people really know about. So those are the things that really interest me, and yeah, that's the main thing I've been doing is really exploring how our ancestors and the peoples of this land were living and breathing before we were here.
Wow, what have you found?
I mean, there's a lot, but I think more than anything, it was that they lived a much more sacred life, and they were definitely more connected to the earth and to the heavens and to community and tribe and things were very different in many ways. So,
they were less about having the newest and the biggest and the baddest and keeping up with the Joneses and all that.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I'm sure it was there in some ways, but yeah, no, it was a very connected, very sacred path that they lived, and yeah, I try and live that same way, myself.
What have been some of the hardships you've had to face living in a van? Or challenges?
Yeah, I think the greatest challenges are just when something happens mechanically. Whether it's tires or brakes or
engines,
right? Yeah, no, I mean that's the biggest challenge, and it sucks so bad. Something goes wrong, and I'm just like, oh man, because it's not just your vehicle; it's your home. So it's and you can't just drop it off at a mechanic and leave it for a week. I mean, so it's that's been the greatest challenge. But even that, like, I haven't had really that many issues with this thing, so it's treating me well.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as that, I mean, not really any other challenges.
Huh.
Yeah.
What do you think about? It seems like most people are concerned about being secure, having a home and having a job and being secure, but it seems like you're more oriented, your focus is more on the adventure and the growth than like fully being alive than feeling safe, which is an illusion anyway, right?
Right, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think feeling safe is important, and so many people do this in so many different ways, but I've never been more free in my life, and for me, being rich and wealthy doesn't really mean much to me. This is my richness, living this life and traveling and being free, and seeing beautiful places and meeting beautiful people along the way. That to me is living. That to me is like rich and real, wealth. Yeah, I don't know if that answered your question or not. But
Yeah, that works.
yeah.
What have you had any sketchy like experiences with anybody? Have you been in any scary situations or?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's been a few places that I have found uncomfortable, like being in Kentucky and different places. I mean, you just got to be really mindful. I think you talk about this too in a lot of your videos about really listening to your gut, and your intuition, and really feeling the area and feeling the space, and like you get a good feeling for what's going on. But there are places that I've been where there's been like crazy drug addicts walking around, and
like Apache Junction.
Right. Yeah, people who haven't slept in days, and you're just like, oh, let me stay away from this.
Yeah.
But for the most part, no. I mean, I've just met so many amazing people, and I mean, even like the crazy people that I do meet, all have really amazing stories. So that's kind of the cool thing too, is really accepting whoever you meet on that level of like, all right, I just want to see you for who you are, and tell me something about yourself, and yeah, I think that's one of the main things also just about traveling is hearing people's stories. Everyone's got their own wisdom.
Totally, absolutely. How do you think you've changed as a person since you've started living this? I don't know what you did previously, but if you like live in an apartment or whatever, maybe you could talk about that and how this compares to like living in a house or an apartment.
I've lived in a number of different places. Right before this van, I was in a really small apartment. And before that, I lived on acres of land with a garden, and I love gardening. I love the whole homesteading, aspect of things, growing food, having chickens, and living sustainably. Yeah, so that's where I was before that, and now, I mean, like I said, I've never been more free in my life. I would not change anything about my lifestyle right now. If I had all the time and money in the world, which I almost do, not necessarily money-wise, but
time-wise,
yeah, I got plenty of time. I'm doing exactly what I want.
Nice.
And yeah, it feels good. Do
you ever get scared?
I don't get scared much. I'm pretty comfortable with like being outside at night, not scared of wild animals, not scared of bears. I hiked some of the Appalachian Trail, so I've seen plenty of bears and wildlife and
bears.
Yeah, and I kind of grew up in the mountains too, so I'm pretty comfortable with being outdoors. I think if I'm ever scared or uncomfortable, it's in big cities. Whether it's just traffic can be freaking scary. That's the biggest thing I'm scared of is traffic. Like there are some crazy drivers out there. Or even semis, a windy day and they're just like blowing all over the road and you're like, oh damn,
For sure.
But no, I don't really get scared that much. And again, it's mostly like big cities that I feel the most uncomfortable in. I kind of feel like a coyote in some ways, like living on the edge, the outskirts of town. I kind of stick to BLM land, national forests, state parks, things like that.
So you're out of the city most of the time?
Most of the time, yeah. Unless I'm traveling and just need a place to stay,
Okay.
And then it's a Walmart parking lot, or something like that.
Great. And how long have you been in the van?
Since March 31st.
Okay, so what is that?
Gosh.
It's almost a year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, 10 months or something.
Yeah.
So, do you have any words of wisdom for anybody who's thinking about living this lifestyle, but they're kind of on the edge?
Words of wisdom.
Besides just do it, because that's what everybody else says.
Right. Live life, woo! No,
YOLO!
YOLO! Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people have a hard time escaping the system. They get stuck in that place of comfort, of working that 9 to 5 and coming home and opening that bottle of wine and watching their shows and doing it the next day, I mean, ultimately, there are many, many, many jobs that one could do to be able to travel.
Yeah.
Like many.
Lots.
So.
What do you do?
I'm a psychic.
And you work through the phone, right?
Yeah, as long as I have my phone, I have work, you know, which is the best freaking job in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
And you sell arts and crafts too, right? You're showing us the dream catchers and everything?
Yeah, got plenty of time for that. So, yeah, definitely. And it's fun. I love it. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, that's what I do for a living. Allows me to travel. So, I mean, yeah, no better job than that. But again, there's lots of jobs that people can take on. Ultimately, it's about doing what you love, though. You know, and if you can find something that you can do that you love, I mean, I know people who have Instagram accounts and they're traveling the States, and all they do is they sell their art. You know, cool, funky art. You know, and people dig it. You know, so like, and so they're loving what they're doing, and they're traveling, and yeah. So I mean, do what you love. You know, do what you love. Yeah.
There it is, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Love yourself.